All right, back at it again. My apologies if the last video came to it abruptly ended a little bit. I'm just playing around. I'm still trying to figure out the settings for this Cam Studio so that it won't give me an error message. I've been getting that a lot of times as I've been creating my videos. But, continuing on. So, we're going to modify the torso so that it moves independently without this bone, without some of these other vertex groups from the spine. So we're going to modify that exactly as we did with the elbow joint right here. So we're going to tab into edit mode. Now we have our chest bone selected, and we're going to hit, well, it's not selected, but select it now. Now we see that, oh wait, there we go. Always make sure that you don't have any other vertices selected except for that group, or else when you hit assign, you're going to have 100% weight on your other vertices that you selected either by accident or, if that's how it came. So we're going to take this off right here, and we can do that fast by going remove, and then we're going to remove this section right here, make sure that's everything, and then we're going to hit assign. Alright, now let's move it. There we go. There we have it. And now we're just going to check all the other weights to make sure they're not influencing anything else. So we can also just check it by deselecting that and then hit select. Now it looks like some of our vertices are influencing the chest, so we're going to do the exact same thing and make sure, go to your x-ray to make sure no other portions are selected, and we're going to hit remove, and then we're going to deselect all these vertices right here. Oh, we still have a couple stragglers right there. And now let's just make sure this is all by itself. Is that? Oh, we have one more vertice selected. There we go. So now let's see. There we have it. So now we're going to hit assign. All right. Let's check the hips. And of course the hips moves everything. Let's just make sure, just to be on the safe side, hit select. I don't know why all of these pop up. That's interesting. So another faster way, well, select. But it's not moving when we go here. This isn't moving the hips. Well, this is. Alright, so we're going to change it from the leg. So tab into edit mode. And now that we have these vertices for the hip selected, we're going to remove those. Remove. Now we're going to check out to see what happens, and as you can see, that one little section is not on our leg. And we're going to go back here. Now we're going to press L to select that whole portion of our thigh, and we're going to hit, I guess we're going to assign it. So let's check again. Alright, so now we don't want the knee to have any influence, the thigh to have any influence on our knee. We want our shin bone to move the knee. Alright, so we're going to go back here, and we're going to select this, and we're going to hit remove. So you can remove vertice groups that are from other portions if, let's say, this and this were selected, and you know it's moving funky, you would of course remove this portion, reselect your thigh, and then hit assign. Alright, and that gets rid of our knee group here. Now this is what we want, but we want to give it 100%. So we're going to select that in edit mode. We have our shin selected, and then we're just going to select the groups. Make sure nothing else is selected every time. And then we're going to hit assign. Now also, if you need to, you can modify the weights. Like for example, if you was to hit assign a weight of 480, which is like, I think that's kind of in the green color. Yep, green. And you know, you can modify it back to 100%, which is red. And now if we check our deformation for our knee, it moves perfectly. Now it looks like we could have placed our knee joint a little further back because it's moving a little weird. That's weird that, you know, it didn't copy over here. But initially, if you do it right, if you do it exactly the same way you did here, over here, you won't have any problems, really. Alright, so we're going to further go down, and now we're going to modify this part as well. And we're going to get rid of these, because we don't want them to influence our foot. So remove. Alright, so that looks pretty good. So let's make sure here, we're going to do the exact same thing. Remove. Alright, good. Alright, and nothing is being influenced on this side, so it's perfect. So initially all the hard work is done within a matter of seconds due to the automatic weights. But sometimes you'll get various results depending on how you set your bones up. So the only thing left to do now is to set up the ponytail, because now it's not moving with our mesh. So let's get out of weight paint, and we're going to finish things off by do we want it to move with that? I guess we can do automatic weights. So we're gonna select our whole armature. I mean, there's numerous ways you can do this. Either have it connected to the bone, but you know, for right now, we're just gonna do automatic weights. So, bam. All right, so now let's just check. Oops. There we go. Let's check to see what these weights are looking like. Alright, that looks good. That looks good. Now, mind you, with more geometry, you'll have a more nice looking bend. Mine's is just one loop going down the center instead of multiple loops. Alright, and as you can see here, we're pretty much done with our character rigging, and now you can go on to creating simple animation, but this tutorial is not about animation, just mainly just the rigging part. And with how we adjusted the weights here, you can adjust some of these weird shoulder motion, these shoulder deformations you get. Actually, that's pretty correct. That's pretty correct, and I mean, yeah, it's fairly good. Yeah, but if anything that you need to adjust, you just select your bones first, and then select your mesh. Control Tab, so that you can see everything in real time, so that you can modify it by going to your brush, your tools, and then you can adjust the the weights, like you pose it to see where the model looks weird at, and then you just start modifying the weights if you need to. It's just, you know, quick example, nothing really crazy. But that's how you would do that. And then you have a whole bunch of other tools that you can use to help with setting up your weights. Alright, so now that we're done that, I have one other example to show you, which is one that I created not a while back. It's a female character again with a more, you know, interesting pose. And initially it's based off of the same concept in terms of the proxy mesh. It's a bit more cleaner, and and it has more of that, I would say, comic book style body proportions. And I did something different with the shoulders. I didn't, you know, create it how I did in the other one, which is another method you can do. And yes, she moves perfectly with FK, IK. And I have one other example to show y'all. This is mainly, excuse me. You have to excuse me. I'm trying to find where the message is at. One second, please. I'm gonna pause real fast until I find that. Alright, so I found the example. I found the person that wanted me to create this video. His name is Luke Manga. And Luke Manga, I created another example that was showing what you were telling me about in terms of the high poly, if the character had a face or something like that. Now, this is just we're going to use the exact same you know, principles or, you know, method that we use to create our proxy, but, you know, I'm not rigging the whole thing. We're just going to go through it real fast. And I do have a general, you know, body structure just for the upper body. And we're going to do, same thing. So we're just going to use the automatic weights to quickly set him up for, you know, testing purposes. So let's select, you know, the multiple body parts. I'm not trying to select that, so let's just hide it. There we go. Control P, automatic weights. And we're going to do the exact same thing with some of these other portions because they're all separate objects. Control P, automatic. And we're going to make sure that it's actually working. It is. So initially it's the same thing. And let me actually show you. These are pieced parts. And even the head is. The head is actually, you know, sculpted. Dynamic topology. And this is a separate part as well. Little tricks of the trade. So with this, we're just going to parent this to the head bone. Select the head bone. Let's do this again. We're going to say bone. So now whenever we rotate this, it acts like it's connected to the head. And same thing with the head mesh. Do the exact same thing. Now, since it's dynamic topology for the head, I got an error, which is why I'm just going to use the bone method instead of automatic weights, because it's going to say it has an error. It has a hard time finding something that's going to create the bone group. And we're going to do the exact same thing with the eyes, because if you just move this regular, you're going to see that the eyes aren't moving, which is a no-go. So we're going to select the eyes, select our head bone, and we're going to parent it to the bone. And so now we can move it perfectly. If you want to act out your animations with your proxy. And let's see, we got the neck working perfectly. And I think we're missing one part. Let's get out of there. Oh, lights. Turn lights out. And we forgot this part, the arms. The arms and the chest, which is also a separated mesh as well. The limbs, as you can see, aren't connected, but we have this nice, space where our joints want to be at. And we're going to do the exact same thing. First, we're going to select our rig. All right, there you go. So select your mesh, rig. Well, not that part. Mesh, rig, and automatic. Make sure it's working. Oh, and look at our duplicate. How we changed the topology. Okay, so bring everything back. And lock, Afro Manga, I hope that helped you with your project that you're working on in terms of the proxy meshes, and you get some pretty basic deformation to test out all of your character mechanics. And I want to thank everybody else for watching as well. Hopefully it helped you learn something about creating your characters. Why is this bottom part showing? Oh, there we go. I don't know why that should have been full screen. But yeah, I hope this helped everybody. Hopefully you'll be able to create your own characters with ease now without worried about topology playing too much of a factor. And then, once you start getting your proxies down, and then you can break your character's body parts. Let's say you did model it with a good amount of topology, and you created some hard surface stuff, or whatever you're using your model for. Let me just put this up for 3. Yeah, this is some hard surface detail that I was just playing around with. I'm not sure what type of character this was. Some type of ninja space guy, I guess. I mean, everything is pretty much basic, little colors and such. Some lighting. I was testing something out. Hopefully it's my computer's becoming a little unresponsive. But yeah, a little something. I was trying to get ready for a little animation I was going to be making. Cartoony style animation. But I hope y'all... Oops. Whoa. What just happened here? Oh. I was like... oh, the bone is selected. Alright, so... please watch the other videos in case if you missed it, and I'll link some of the videos if you missed it in the corners so you can find it very easy, and I'll make a playlist for it. So perhaps on my next video or a video in the future, we'll dive into the full process of character modeling from the proxy mesh to a full 3D mesh that's going to have topology in mind, and we're doing the exact same thing but create a more interesting kind of rig and play around with some lighting, maybe make it look comic book ish. But I think I'm ranting a little too long on the video. But you know, I just hope y'all enjoyed it. Just keep on watching and share with your friends. And if you see anything that you believe that I can fix upon, please let me know in the comments section below. And furthermore, have a good day. Keep on modeling, keep practicing, and go all out. Alright, have a good one. Bye.